Welcome back to Journey of a Ballaholic, the best talk show for basketball addicts. I'm your host, General Hannibal X. Now, on this journey, we're going to be discussing the Toronto Raptors and the Kyle Lowry trade rumors. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'm a ballaholic. I'm absolutely addicted to basketball. But just like everybody, I've got my own opinions. Now, if you like opinions that are backed by facts, go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, but also be sure that you hit that bell notification and turn it on to all notifications. That way you'll be updated whenever I drop a new video.
Are you ready?
Okay, man, listen. We're on the brink of something big here. We are on the brink of a major trade potentially going down any day now. Trade deadline is coming up, and the rumors are running rampant, specifically around the Toronto Raptors. This is a team right here now that they kind of underachieved from where people thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season, but they got some decisions to make, and it all starts with Kyle Lowry. He's getting up there a little in age. He's making about $30 million a year, and honestly, he's not really fitting in with the timeline of this team. You got to remember, a lot of the veterans are gone. Kawhi Leonard's gone. Danny Green. They already traded away DeMar DeRozan. Marcus Gasol's gone. Serge Ibaka's gone. So now Kyle Lowry's like one of the last, frontiers. Obviously, one of the all-time great Toronto Raptor players. Now, one thing I do love, and one thing you have to give the Toronto Raptors a lot of credit for, they're playing this very smart. They understand that in the market that they're in, they have to handle their players properly. There was a lot of flack that they got from some Raptors fans when they traded DeMar DeRozan away. Now, granted, they got Kawhi Leonard back and wound up getting the championship, so I think Raptors fans were excited and happy about that move. But if you're going to get rid of Kyle Lowry, who's arguably the greatest Toronto Raptor of all time, you've got to make a smart deal. And one of the things that it appears that it could be going on behind closed doors, the Raptors could be working with Kyle Lowry to figure out the best destination for him and for the team. Now, the rumors are reporting that Kyle Lowry wants to go to the Sixers. You got to remember, he played college ball at Villanova. From the whole Philadelphia area, this is where he's from. This is his neck of the woods. Now, it's not just about a player wanting to go home. And it's not just about a player wanting to go to a better team, because the Philadelphia 76ers are the best team in the Eastern Conference, right now sitting at the #1 seed. And in my opinion, they have the #1 front-running candidate for the MVP in the 2021 season in Joel Embiid. But one of their weaknesses is the point guard position. It's not one of their strong positions. Now, you got Seth Curry there. You have Shake Milton playing that position at some. So they're trying to, kind of piecemeal it together. But I think we may be onto something. If Kyle Lowry and the Toronto Raptors can figure out how to package this deal, where the Raptors get back what is a, not necessarily an adequate package, but it's something that can help boost this rebuild. Because be very clear, the Raptors are going through a rebuild. When you win a championship and you lose some of the veterans that they lost, like we talked about, the Gasols, the Ibakas, the Leonards, the Danny Greens, when you lose this veteran talent, it's time to hit that reset button. And so that's what it appears that they're about to do as they get ready to ship Kyle Lowry out. You've got this young core. You've got Pascal Siakam. You've got a lot of young talent over there in OG Anunoby, Davis. Listen, they've got some young talent. Boucher, they've got young talent. But it's time to go ahead and maybe turn the keys over to the Fred VanVleets of the world and the Pascal Siakams and let this be their team. So if they're going to get rid of Kyle Lowry, what would they get in exchange for him? So this is some of the things that we're hearing in the rumor mill that the Raptors want to get back in exchange for dealing Kyle Lowry. They want expiring contracts. Definitely. Makes sense. They want draft capital, as well as they want some young assets, some players that, have some potential. The Philadelphia 76ers, actually, they could put together a really good package. Let's think about this for a second. Follow me here. What if the Philadelphia 76ers, because you're not giving up Joel Embiid, you're not even going to consider that. You're not giving up Ben Simmons. You're not going to consider that either. Tobias Harris, could you consider that? The way he's playing, I wouldn't even consider giving up Tobias Harris for Kyle Lowry if I'm the Sixers. The Sixers hold the keys here. Why? Because Kyle Lowry wants to be there. Toronto, it's going to be hard to send him to a place he doesn't want to be. First of all, you want to send him to a contender. Let's be very clear. The Raptors are going to send him to a contender. The question is going to be, do you send him out west to a potential contender with the LA Clippers? They need a point guard. Let's be very clear. If Kyle Lowry joins Serge Ibaka and Kawhi Leonard with the LA Clippers, that's a perfect fit, because one of their weaknesses is a point guard, a veteran point guard who can create for others, who can hit big shots, who can play solid defense, all together, all in a one package. He would fit them perfectly. But does he want to go to LA? Does he want to go to the Western Conference, where it's loaded with talent? Well, rumors say he wants to stay in the East. So what could the 76ers package to be able to give the Toronto Raptors a deal that makes sense? How about we start with expiring contracts? Because that's one of the things they want as they're trying to do this rebuild. When you look at guys like a Danny Green, right? Send him back to Toronto. He's a vet, but he's got a $15 million expiring contract. Another guy who's on expiring contract, Mike Scott, another vet, but $5.3 million, if I'm not mistaken, a contract that expires at the end of this year. So those two right there, you're talking about slightly over $20 million. Now remember, Lowry's making 30, so you need more contracts. How about a young guy, a big man, because they need a big man. You can kind of test this one out. How about Tony Bradley, a big man from North Carolina? He's on an expiring contract for roughly $3.5 million. So you put those three guys together as expiring contracts, that's a lot of money coming off the cap. You're looking at about almost $24 million that will be coming off the books this summer. But you need some other pieces. So I'm just going to give them some draft capital, some picks that's available. And then what about a young player, a young promising upcoming player? Well, I think there's two guys that the Philadelphia 76ers have that they could offer, but I don't think they necessarily need to offer both of them. That would be Matisse Thybulle and Tyrese Maxey. So if I'm the Sixers and I'm trying to figure out which one do I want to give up, and if I'm the Raptors, I'm trying to get both of them, which if I'm the Sixers, I'm not doing. So if I got to give up one from the Sixers standpoint, I would give up Tyrese Maxey. Now, his potential is higher, in my opinion, than Matisse Thybulle. But I think Matisse Thybulle fits better with this with the Sixers team in the hopes of trying to win a championship this year. Because you got to remember this. If they give up Tyrese Maxey along with these expiring contracts and some draft capital, that could be a package that is good enough to entice the Raptors to give up their veteran leader in Kyle Lowry. And then you would have the Sixers with Kyle Lowry at the 1. You're talking about potentially having Matisse Thybulle slide into that 2 spot to be that defender on the wing. You've got Ben Simmons. You've got Tobias Harris. You've got Joel Embiid. You've got potentially 4 all-star caliber players on the Sixers squad. Listen, I already said, check the tape. I've already said I think the Sixers are going to the NBA Finals. To me, they're the best team in the Eastern Conference. You add Kyle Lowry to that core, and man, it's a wrap in the East. It's a wrap in the Eastern Conference. And you still would have guys like Seth Curry coming off the bench as a super 6-man to be able to come in and get you buckets off the bench. You got a former Defensive Player of the Year in Dwight Howard coming off your bench, right? You still got Kormaz coming off to bring shooting. So you still would have some depth, quality depth coming off your bench, and your starting lineup would be insane. Defense all over. You got shooting all over. Inside, outside, the Sixers would be loaded. But let's look at it from the Raptors standpoint. What would they be getting? Once again, you're getting Tony Bradley, a young potential big man that you could put in that starting spot, see how he fits instead of having an Alex Land, what's the big man's name? Aaron Baines. Aaron Baines is not working out. He's not your future. Maybe you throw Tony Bradley in and see what he does. Or maybe you try to go play small ball and let Chris Boucher get some starting minutes and you open that spot up there. Or you've also got a young guy like Tyrese Maxey, a young guy that could potentially replace Kyle Lowry in a few years and as a starting guard alongside of Fred VanVleet if you want to stay small. Or he could be that super 6-man scorer coming off your bench. It's a many different ways, but Tyrese Maxey can ball. Coming out of Kentucky, he can ball. And if you can get him, along with some of these other young guys and these expiring contracts where you're freeing up $24 million, because remember, if Tony Bradley doesn't work, because he's been in the league a couple years, he's not really panned out to be much of anything. So if he doesn't work the rest of the season, get rid of him. You got that free space that opens up. You got $24 million to be able to go out and hit the market this summer to get you a legitimate big man. I like it for both teams, man. I love it. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you think the Sixers and the Raptors should make this trade, Kyle Lowry, for that package deal that we just talked about? Now, maybe there have to be some cash considerations, maybe some extra cap fillers, but that's basically the premise of this trade. Would you swap out Tyrese Maxey for Matisse Thybulle from the Sixers side or from the Raptors side? Let me know in the comment section below what you think of this trade. Listen, I appreciate you for taking a look at this video. Until next time, make sure that you all stay safe in the streets. If you missed my previous videos where we talked about the Raptors potentially getting Demarcus Cousins, maybe they should look to try to sign him or definitely sign him because he's no longer with the Houston Rockets. Maybe that's an option to fill that big man spot. Click this box right here on the screen to the right. Listen, I appreciate you for taking a look at this video, man. Make sure you subscribe. Until next time, General Hannibal X, I'm out. Peace.